This video-on-demand presentation of Big Red Wrap-Up is made possible by the following sponsors. Big Red Wrap-Up thanks these sponsors.
Coming up tonight on NET's Big Red Wrap-Up. The Huskers took it on the chin on Saturday as Wisconsin steamrolled a struggling Nebraska team. We'll recap the game as well as be joined by Nebraska Director for Football Operations, Jeff Jamrog. Sean Callahan is with us tonight, and along with Talkin' Football, he'll update us on Big Red recruiting. Good evening, everybody. I'm Kevin Kugler. Welcome to NET's Big Red Wrap-Up. It is a pleasure to have you with us tonight, although the game we're going to be talking about probably not a pleasure for you to remember, as Nebraska went up to Wisconsin and met the Badgers once again. And unfortunately for Nebraska right now, Wisconsin has the number of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and the number usually is a pretty big number, whether it's score, rushing yardage, or both. Joining me tonight, Blake Lawrence and Sean Callahan. Sitting in tonight, Adrian Fiala under the weather, and we certainly hope that Adrian is feeling better. We look forward to seeing him back here in the next week or so. So Sean will sit in with us tonight and chat a little football. And I know, Sean, you were up there at the game in Madison, a cold, snowy day that got more bleak and more gray for the Huskers as the game went along.
You know, it was just such a bizarre day because here you're sitting there at 17-3. And you're like, wow, this is going to be that breakthrough win. Mm-hmm. The way they were playing on defense, they were forcing turnovers. Mm-hmm. Melvin Gordon, a guy that doesn't fumble, is fumbling the football. They're finishing drives with touchdowns off those turnovers. They had the one missed drop pass where they got a field goal. But the way that game started, you just don't see – I mean, you could – watch 100 football games that start out 17-3, and I guarantee you couldn't find another game that would flip in that kind of fashion with the way Nebraska just fell apart. It was just almost hard to put words on it, even here today on Tuesday.
Blake, as a former black shirt and a guy who played linebacker, watching that defense get run over again had to be painful.
It was painful, and I was trying to reach back into my memory and understand, are they doing similar things that Wisconsin did in the 2012 Big Ten Championship game to catch Nebraska's defense off guard? And while I was watching the game unfold, I realized it wasn't the same scheme as 2012. It was just an aggressive Nebraska or an aggressive Wisconsin offense taking advantage of Nebraska, maybe their lack of confidence or lackadaisical methods they were using after getting ahead, 17-3. Maybe they had this confidence that they could stop Wisconsin, but they found out pretty quickly that if you get Melvin Gordon to the edge, Nebraska's defense couldn't stop him. So I'm with you, Sean. I was sitting there thinking this means so much for Nebraska. We're ahead 17-3. This is the win that Bo needs, that these players need to say we can go on the road, tough conditions, and stop a good team. And it flipped in a second. And there's not too much that you can really say that Nebraska could have done to stop it. And we'll kind of break that down as we go into the huddle.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that. And we're going to talk some defense with Blake and see if Blake has some answers as to why teams like Wisconsin seem to have solved Nebraska's defense. As always, you're a major part of our show, and we want to hear from you. We've got Nebraska's Phi Gamma Delta, the Fiji, standing by in our call center to take your comments and questions tonight while they enjoy some Valentino's pizza. Leading the call center, as always, our NET Sports intern, Josh. There's lots to discuss tonight, and there are a lot of other ways to get a hold of us. Email, Facebook, Twitter. We are ready for your comments. And, oh, by the way, they're coming in fast and furious. Don't forget, you can also download our NET Nebraska app, watch live streaming of our show, catch up on previous episodes, stream live games, including the NSAA High School Football Championships, which are coming up next week. Now, back to the defense, because that's one of the main areas of concern. Reading through your Facebook posts tonight, many of you obviously are concerned about Melvin Gordon rushing for 400-plus yards in 3 quarters of play, a Nebraska defense getting steamrolled again by Wisconsin. Blake, why does this happen? And why did it happen Saturday? Explain what Nebraska's doing and why they're unable to stop a team like Wisconsin.
I think the scheme that Nebraska uses, we've talked about before on the show, is this two-gap type defense where the defensive linemen are head up on the offensive lineman for the opponent. So Against Purdue and Illinois, our defensive tackles and defensive ends can handle two gaps, whether they're in the A gap or the B gap, and they can really control that line of scrimmage up front. Against Wisconsin, you have a more dominant offensive line that's going to get a push, which is going to push the defensive linemen back into the linebackers at that linebacker level, which is going to limit their ability to get around, get into the gaps they need to be in. So without the ability to have a defensive lineman attack a gap, you're not going to get much push and disrupt the play in the backfield. Time and time again, these aggressive running teams are able to take advantage of that by using either a zone scheme and just beating players one-on-one, or a power scheme and pulling guards around and just playing the numbers game. And Nebraska is coached to stop that. And these running teams should not be able to move the ball against Nebraska, but the way that Nebraska plays without bringing a safety down, it's really one man, one gap. So if you get one linebacker or one defensive tackle or defensive end out of their gap, there's going to be a hole there, and that's what Melvin Gordon found time and time again.
And as we were talking before the show, and Sean brought this up, and he's right, after the Northwestern game, Pat Fitzgerald made the point, I can't believe it, but Nebraska brought a safety down. He hadn't seen that in film at any point.
Ever.
Yeah, and he made a point of bringing that up after the game, saying, that caught us off guard because that's not something that Nebraska does. So if they did it there, when you're going against a team in Wisconsin that has struggled throwing the forward pass, and their coaches have said as much, that's not any insight on me, that's from Gary Anderson himself.
Right.
Why is that not part of the strategy in this game on Saturday?
Well, there's some interesting things that opposing offensive coordinators have started to use quite a bit against Nebraska. There's a trend, and this is going to this slot formation, different sets where typically Nebraska's defense will have one or two adjustments, and it allows the offensive coordinator to better predict what's going to happen on the defense. And when they go to a slot, which you have two receivers on one side and a tight end on the other, you're not going to have the ability to bring a safety down into the box because you have to respect the run on the slot side as well as the deep middle of the field. And this is something that coaches are using against Nebraska right now, and you hope to see some adjustments made there. But smart offensive coordinators on the other side, and the failure to execute, there's still a way to stop every play. And we'll look in the huddle. There's just some things that are breaking down as the game wears on.
All right, Sean, you just came over from practice today. A, the mood of the coaches and players, and B, tell us about the black shirt story, because the last time I remember something like this was the very forgettable 2007 season.
Well, yeah, today was the first day they've had a real true practice. They did a Sunday workout as well, but you get to feel the body language of the players, and you can just tell. I mean, obviously there's a lot of disappointment in that football building when you're over there. The players, everybody knows it has to get better, and the storyline that came out of practice today, where there were 14 players that were wearing black shirts last week. 7 of those players now no longer wearing those black shirts. Still 7 chose to wear them today. Josh Banderas has also had a black shirt all year, but he just chose not to wear it all season. And it's interesting, the coaches don't get involved in this, Kevin. It is a player decision. It's not like Bo Pelini's going in the lockers and ripping them out of there. The players made the decision. And I think the one that's going to draw the most criticism is on Monday. Josh Mitchell made the comment at the press conference that he doesn't think they should probably wear those to practice on Tuesday. And he was one of the 7 that wore the black shirt today. So it was interesting to see that play out. I'll be curious if some of those guys maybe follow suit and don't wear them tomorrow. And, you hate to make it a big story, but it kind of is when you talk about the tradition of what the black shirt means.
I was hoping and I was excited to hear Adrian's thoughts on this, and unfortunately, as we mentioned, Adrian's under the weather. Luckily, we still have a black shirt on this panel.
I'll try to hold it down.
What do you make of this? Half in, half out with the black shirts at this point.
I hope that there's a tangible reason why some players have it and some don't. I hope that it's not a pre-practice debate over, I'm still going to wear mine, I'm not going to wear mine. That's not how a team should make decisions. And the comments on it were, this is a player-type decision. But if you look at grades and you look at who performed well in this game and maybe executed where the black shirt level of expectation, there's still individuals that played their role and did their part. Those that elected to not maybe didn't grade out as well. But what it indicates to me is that there's an identity crisis on the defense side for Nebraska. Are we good? Do we play fundamental defense? Are we black shirts? And I would say that same identity crisis trickles over to offense, but this is an indication that maybe you guys are on the same page.
Here are the results of last week's sideline survey. We asked which game is the biggest in the Huskers' final 3 regular season games. 88% of you thought it was the Wisconsin game on Saturday, and as it turned out, it probably was. 10% of you said Minnesota this weekend, 2% Iowa on Black Friday. Here's this week's all-new sideline survey. Are you confident that the Huskers will win out? Yes, no, or are you undecided? If you're going on and saying, I don't know, just go to our Facebook or Wrap-Up website and cast your vote in our very unscientific sideline survey. Move the kids away from the TV because it's time for the highlights of Nebraska and Wisconsin. And unfortunately for Nebraska, the disappointment, I think, is worse considering how the game started for Nebraska. Because, Sean, they came out on fire, playing physical, playing hard, getting fumbles from a guy who doesn't fumble. Now, that's Kenzel Doe. He is not the guy who doesn't fumble, but Nebraska recovering a fumble right away. And here comes Ameer Abdullah, and you're thinking, here we go. A little power run game. Ameer Abdullah with a little spin, showing some nimbleness with that injured knee and hopping around a little bit to show he's got a little spring in his step. Picks up 2 more yards as he powers his way up the middle, and then this drive stalls, but Nebraska gets on the board first. So important on the road, you draw first blood. Huskers up 3-0.
Yeah, it was the perfect start, really, for the road. Nebraska forces a turnover. They get points off it. You would have liked to have seen Brandon Riley catch that third down ball at the goal line. It was right in the chest, but still to get points on the road and force a turnover drive 1, you can't be disappointed.
Ameer Abdullah running tough inside the Wisconsin 25-yard line, and the Huskers back to work. Couple of plays later on 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Well thrown ball, excellent catch. Huskers up 10-0, and you're starting to think, wow, things are really going Nebraska's way right now. The crowd from Lincoln and Omaha and parts elsewhere into it. But then this guy starts to get going. He'd been held in check for most of the first half of the first quarter, but this was a sign of things to come. Melvin Gordon, 42 yards, and a field goal results in that drive. 10-3, Nebraska still in the lead. Wisconsin's defense gets a stop. Here comes Wisconsin again. On 3rd and 2, Melvin Gordon, fumbles the football. Zaire Anderson able to grab it for Nebraska. Huskers are fired up. They get another stop. They get another turnover. Ameer Abdullah goes back to work. 7 more yards for Ameer. Great balance down to the 21-yard line. A couple of plays later, Tommy Armstrong, as we move to the second quarter, you can tell because they switched sides. Tommy Armstrong, 5-yard touchdown run. 17-3 Nebraska. You're thinking, oh boy, big moment here for the Huskers.
Yeah, defense was playing well at this point, and then Melvin Gordon figured out if he gets to the edge, he's going to be gone. And a failed tackle attempt by Corey Cooper, who has had some struggles at times this year playing safety, but that was the beginning of the end for Nebraska's defense on the day.
And it really seemed like after this play, the air went out of the balloon for Nebraska a little bit. Everybody's confidence seemed shaken, and Coach Pelini said after the game that their confidence was shaken from this point. 39-yard run here for Melvin Gordon down to the 17-yard line. And the nice thing, if you're a Wisconsin fan, you've got another good back. Corey Clement, pretty good running back, 17-yard touchdown. But it's still just a tie game. No reason to panic, no reason to freak out if you're Nebraska yet. But then Melvin Gordon got the ball back. And Melvin Gordon did Melvin Gordon things again. 44 yards to the Nebraska 31-yard line. Finally chased out by Nate Gary and Corey Cooper, but just driving down the field. And then Joel Stave, not a lot of passing on the day, didn't need to, but he got that one to Arneson for the touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown pass makes it 24-17 Wisconsin. That was the halftime score. Still no reason to panic, but then here they come again. And it's Melvin Gordon again. And it's Melvin Gordon after the touchdown run on the previous possession. He goes 68 yards to the 6-yard line. Things are starting to mount up like rushing yardage and touchdowns. Here's another one for Melvin Gordon. 38-17. The ball's rolling downhill, and nobody in Husker white can stop it. A touchdown for McAvoy not shown makes it 45-17. Huskers trying to figure out something. Instead, they put it on the turf. A fumble recovered by Trotter, who after the game said that it looked like Nebraska kind of gave up as the game went along. Melvin Gordon, 26 yards for the touchdown. 52-17 Wisconsin. pouring it on. Another touchdown makes it 59-17. And Nebraska, as the snow begins to pile up in Madison, a little fumble recovered by the Huskers. And they are set up at the 2-yard line. But that 2-yard line is too little, too late. Terrell Newby from 2 yards, able to get into the end zone. Good block by Ethan Carter back on the field this weekend. 59-24, Wisconsin, the final. And the disappointment, very strong for the Huskers. Newby gets the touchdown, but not near enough for Bo Pelini and the Big Red. And the Big Red on this day was Wisconsin. 627 yards, 581 on the ground. Just, Sean, it's unlike anything you've ever seen, obviously, with Melvin Gordon breaking the FBS record.
Well, yeah, I mean, just to see that record go, you know, the previous record was broken against a team like UTEP. You just don't see that type of stuff happen. But we've seen now in Nebraska, Troy Edwards break the receiving record, and now Melvin Gordon break the rushing record. So I think the passing numbers, Kevin, are what jump out. The 6 of 18. Just the lack of efficiency. Was surprised we didn't see more short, controlled stuff. You know, utilizing guys like Kenny Bell, Jordan Westerkamp, almost as a running type of game. We just didn't see a lot of that. Everything seemed to be down the field, which in a cold, snowy stadium, those aren't easy passes to complete.
28 points off the 5 turnovers, certainly helping Wisconsin along their way. It's time for this week's trivia question. Be the first correct caller, and you'll receive the Big Red Wrap-Up T-shirt, size extra large, and Hale Varsity's 2014 yearbook. Saturday featured another Wisconsin romp over Nebraska in their last 2 meetings against the Badgers. Huskers have surrendered 539 rushing yards, a then school record, and now 581 on the ground, the new school record, both by Wisconsin. Before 2012, you'd have to go way back to find the previous record holder of the most rushing yards against Nebraska. Tonight's first question is, before the last 2 meetings against Wisconsin, which opponent held the record for most rushing yards against Nebraska? Be the first correct caller, and you'll receive the wrap-up tee and Hale Varsity's 2014 yearbook. All right, as promised, Blake's going to break some stuff down for us. Let's go deeper into the playbook. Blake Lawrence is in the huddle.
Tonight in the huddle, we'll look at Nebraska's defensive breakdowns, which led to Melvin Gordon's record-setting rushing day. Coach Bo talked about after the game, this wasn't a matter of scheme, it was just a matter of execution. And going back to watch the film, I'd have to agree with them. The first play we're going to break down is a long run in the first quarter by Melvin Gordon. Wisconsin's going to run a zone lead on this play. The fullback is going to lead through the B gap, and his job is to block the inside or outside linebacker. The responsibilities of linebackers, inside linebackers stay inside the fullback, outside linebackers stay outside. The key on this play is the contained by the defensive end. The defensive end, McMullen, he's got to stay outside the offensive tackle. If he's going to allow anything to happen, he's got to force all the momentum for Melvin Gordon back inside, because that's where his tacklers will be. Now watch, as Melvin gets the ball, you're going to see that the offensive tackle hooks McMullen, which is going to allow him to lose contain on the edge. There's 6 defenders for Nebraska in 1 gap, and none out here. 6 guys in one place, and no one outside to stop Melvin Gordon. He's up the sidelines. Like I said, a missed tackle by Corey Cooper. You don't want to see him wrap up and grab the legs at that point, but that was the beginning for Melvin Gordon. The second play here is more of a power play. So Wisconsin's going to pull the guard, and the guard his job is to block the defensive end. Once again, McMullen, he needs to stay outside of the pulling guard to keep the ball to go back in. The fullback, which you see here, is going to come around as well, kind of acting like the same fullback in the last play. His job is to block the outside linebacker. The outside linebacker stays outside, inside linebacker stays inside. This should be no gain. Now, as the play develops, you can see that McMullen's going to get stuck inside. He's going to lose a little bit of that edge, which is going to open up the running room for Melvin Gordon. Well, good thing the outside linebacker is there to set the edge on the fullback. But where is the inside linebacker? He's caught up. The offensive tackle on the top side had enough room and time to get downfield about 5 yards and block off the middle linebacker. Melvin Gordon's got his free shot at the safety, makes one miss, and another 40-plus yard gain. The third, very similar to the first play, the zone scheme. The fullback is going to lead on the linebackers. Outside linebackers stay outside, inside linebackers stay inside. We've seen this just a couple times already. And watch, as the fullback gets into the hole, you'll see the inside linebacker gets caught up with the offensive center. He's got to get outside faster once he sees the movement of that fullback. The outside linebacker is going to get caught on the outside side of the fullback, and Melvin Gordon has a big seam to go up into the hole. The safety is sneaking inside as well. So another huge run by Melvin Gordon, but different schemes. But these plays should be stopped. These are players that are out of position, and a great player making great plays. And Melvin Gordon's hard to stop, but these are things that Nebraska can improve on.
Here's the question that we're getting a lot on Facebook. If this is the case from 2012 to 2014, and I recognize that we're talking really good running backs here, but why is it still happening from 2012 into 2014? I could read 10 different comments from Facebook or Twitter that essentially ask that same question, so I pose it to Mr. Huddle here. Why
it's different
is
players.
It still happening?
How much is it mental, Blake? How much is it mental versus physical?
I think there is a lot of it that's trying to understand where are these guys going to be, where am I supposed to be, what's my assignment on this play. And it's a hostile environment up there in Wisconsin, and the snow is falling. And once something starts happening, you get one play in your mind. And a lot of things that Nebraska fans want are adjustments on the sidelines, adjustment at halftime. So if you go to the sidelines and you just got a 62-yard run, and you're thinking about that play, you make a quick adjustment to stop it, that's still in your mind while the next drive started. Because Nebraska's offense back in the Big Ten championship wasn't helping the defense by, going 3 and out and getting the defense back on the field.
Same thing on Saturday in a lot of instances, especially after the ball started rolling downhill for Wisconsin.
Exactly right. So these adjustments that you want to see made mid-game can get in the head of a defender.
So much sudden change in a game too, where you're going back and forth on the sidelines because of quick drives and
5 turnovers.
5 turnovers, 3 and outs.
That can throw off the defense, but the execution, Nebraska can improve on these things. The players know what they should have done, and I think that if you go back and watch it, they should improve this week against Minnesota.
Next up, we're joined by Nebraska Director for Football Operations, Jeff Jamrog, but as we go to break, let's take another look back at Saturday, courtesy of Aaron Babcock from Hail Varsity. Stay with us. We're back in just a moment.
The result we put out there is not what we wanted. Obviously, we have a bitter taste in our mouth as competitors, but we have 2 more games to play, and we have 2 more games to prove to ourselves what kind of team we really are.
We're just going to worry about Minnesota. It's one game at a time. It's all about just going out there with your buddies, making sure you're prepared and focusing on this week.
Hopefully learn some things, get better, stay the course, and and that's all you can do in a situation like this. We got a lot of football out ahead of us. There's still a lot more out there for this football team, and we'll stay the course.
Welcome back to NET's Big Red Wrap-Up. I'm Kevin Kugler, joined by our NET Sports intern, Josh. Do I want to ask what we're seeing tonight on social media?
You might not want to, but I'm going to tell you anyways.
Oh, great.
Well, a lot of people, I think you hit on it earlier, are asking why. Why does Nebraska keep happening to them in big games? Is it a coaching thing? Is it a culture thing? Was it the pressure around the program? I mean, up 17-3, Nebraska really looked like they were playing great until that first Melvin Gordon long touchdown run. And it's like the wind came out of the sails and things got ugly from there. They scored 56 straight points on the way to a really ugly win. And there was some reaction about the ugly win on social media. We have some tweets, and this one from Reggie on the Move. Can you believe it was 17-3 Nebraska after the first quarter? And then it got real ugly. We have...
I wanted to use Reggie on the Move for my Twitter handle. It was already taken.
Jeff Slabowski, ouch. At least the snow was pretty. It's nice snow coming down there in Madison, maybe the only positive there. And then one last one, Gordon might run the show untouched because he didn't get touched much there on Saturday.
It was not a pretty day indeed. Josh, thank you so much.
No problem.
After battling back from an injury last season, Trevor Roach is putting together a nice senior campaign in 2014. We got a chance to go one-on-one with Trevor in the latest installment of Huskers Up Close.
The biggest motivation I had, was just, can I do it for myself, I think everyone has internal factors, that, I just want to prove to myself that I can do it. Because, you always have doubt in your mind, That's come back to our mindset we got to have, just got to keep pushing through. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, that happens, it's life. A lot of it was just my teammates, I love those guys. And, I wanted to come back and play with those guys again for one last year. Whether I did or I didn't, I was just going to try to. I would say my biggest leadership role is off the field more, just in the classroom, trying to help guys on that aspect. I wouldn't say on the field as much. I think that's more like Josh Mitchell or Corey Cooper. But hopefully I help those guys out, but you don't really know. It's an honor, because it's a grind, it's a lot of hard work managing school and athletics. And, it's a lot of hard work, but, at the same time, you meet some of the best friends you'll have for the rest of your life. So, it's a great experience, and it's a good one. I've enjoyed it.
We've got a winner in our first trivia question tonight. Congratulations to John Smith of Fremont. That sounds like an alias. John Smith of Fremont. He knew which opponent held the record for most rushing yards against Nebraska before meeting Wisconsin. It was Oklahoma way back in 1956. Set a then Nebraska school record rushing for 506 yards against the Huskers. Here's tonight's second trivia question. It's open to email, Facebook, and Twitter. Have the first correct answer, you'll receive a copy of The Legend of Little Red, perfect for the junior Huskers, and the Big Red Wrap-Up tee, size extra large. As we've talked about, it was the Melvin Gordon show on Saturday as the Wisconsin running back set not only the most rushing yards in school history against Nebraska, but set Wisconsin school records and the FBS rushing record with a 408-yard performance. In the history of the Blackshirts, no one player had rushed for over 300 yards against Nebraska. Tonight's second trivia question is, which player previously held the school record for most rushing yards against Nebraska? Have the first correct answer out of email, Facebook, Twitter, and you'll receive the Legend of Little Red and the wrap-up tee. Well, we're happy to have Jeff Jamrog with us, Nebraska's Director for Football Operations, on the heels of what was certainly not a game that Jeff wanted to see or anybody on that Nebraska sideline on Saturday. It was cold, it was snowy, and you ran into a guy who may be standing in New York as the Heisman Trophy winner by the end of the year in Melvin Gordon. That guy was spectacular on Saturday.
Boy, he sure was. Seeing him up close in person is one thing, to see it on film and to see it live in person against you. It's not something you want to see. I saw something in the paper where a Big Ten coach says hopefully that's the last time they see him.
You would second that opinion?
I think we'd all second that. Yeah, he's a special talent, and wish him the best of luck playing on Sundays.
You've been a part of great wins as a player and a coach, and disappointing losses. Anybody who plays any team sport is going to be a part of real high highs and real low lows. Is it harder to deal with the real high highs to get your team back for the next week, or the low lows to get your team back for next week, whether as a player or a coach?
That's a great question there. They're both challenging, and we tell our team you only get so many opportunities. You have 12 that you're guaranteed, and then obviously a bowl game. But you just hope, you guys can regroup. There's going to be adversity in life. I think college football is such a great life lesson for these young men, and it's going to happen someday out there in the business world, et cetera, with their family, and it's how you respond. And I know we have great character on this football team, from a group of 14 seniors on down to our freshmen that are seeing some action, and you just want to put last week behind, and I mean, Minnesota and Saturday can't come soon enough for us.
Coach, you remember, just to bring back bad memories for everyone, 2008 we played down in Oklahoma, and that game got off to a crazy start for Oklahoma. They were up 35-14. I mean, it was a crazy first quarter. But in the locker room after that game, we saw some leaders start to emerge for this team. You know, you start to see, Zach Potter come out and talk about how he's going to finish the year right. The seniors wanting to finish the year right. Younger guys stepping up saying, this is going to be my team next year. And those are the things that obviously most people don't see. But on this team this year, did you who stands out as somebody that could kind of emerge in that locker room and get these guys back centered?
Yeah, well, I think it starts with Amir Abdullah. Amir has, been outspoken, probably more so this year than ever before, and certainly he's kind of like E.F. Hutton. When he says something, the whole team and coaching staff and everyone responds so well, just because of what he's all about.
Notice nobody else on this panel got that but me. They're too young to understand the E.F. Hutton reference.
Exactly. But he's one, and Jay Cotton has said some words to the football team that have been meaningful, and again. Our guys, a lot doesn't have to be said, really. I mean, our guys are embarrassed about the performance, and we want to go out on a high note. And we got a chance to finish the regular season at 10-2. There aren't a lot of football teams in the country. They're going to be 10-2, but we got to use what happened last week to as a positive.
Coach, I think one of the challenges that you got to deal with today now is just the outside noise on social media and just all the things that come with the game like Saturday. How big of a challenge is that, even compared to when you were here in 2003? Because, I think that's an added element in the locker room that a team has to deal with. And they're young guys. They love hearing what people say about them, and they want to read it, whether it's good or bad. And how hard is that on a week like this?
Yeah, it is a challenge, and you just hope that all the distraction and the noise, they can put that aside and just focus at the task at hand and what they can control. And what they can control is the preparation for the game, watching all the film possible that they can in between classes, focusing in the meeting room. Those hour meetings are so valuable of learning your assignment and why you're doing those things, and then having great practices. The preparation on Monday through Friday, sets the tone for what happens on Saturday. And so we just try to keep an even keel approach and just worrying about what we can control.
Jeff, you mentioned 14 seniors on this roster, and this is their last chance to play at Memorial Stadium this weekend. And this senior class is going to have some big, rousing ovations, I would assume, from Husker fans this weekend. There's the list of the guys who are going to be saying goodbye, although maybe not Trevor Roach. You're hoping for a sixth year for him. But you look at those names, and this is going to be a mixed bag for Husker fans this weekend, because they don't want to see some of these guys leave, especially the guy on the top left of that list, and Amir Abdullah.
No doubt, it's a special class. Most of those guys are 5-year guys. Now, Amir's only a 4-year guy, and what's so impressive about Amir, a lot of people may not know this, but he's going to graduate in 3.5 years. He's going to graduate this December. Corey Cooper has already graduated. Jay Cotton has graduated. Zaire Anderson has graduated. And then all the rest of those are going to graduate in December. So we're going to be playing in the bowl game with all those guys graduate. There is one asterisk, all right, and I'm going to give him a benefit of the doubt on this one, is Tyler Evans is going to graduate in May. But he has a 3.9 GPA, double major in biological sciences and psychology. So I'm going to give a little bit
I'll
of break.
put my money on him getting through that.
Oh, yeah. But he's a great young man. Got hurt, obviously, this football season and couldn't finish out. But what a great class. 3.15 average GPA of all those guys you see up on the screen there. And to have them all graduate, 8 of them have been academic, all Big Ten. 6 of them actually have been for multiple years on that list. And so they're going to be leaders in the business world, and some of them are going to have a chance, obviously, to play pro football, but they're going to be successful life after football here at Nebraska. And I think these 4 to 5 years have prepared them very well for what's out there.
Now, this is one of the, there's been a couple classes now that came in under the Bo Pelini, coaching staff. And, it's an emotional day for these seniors the last time that they're playing. What's it like as a coach, to see that guy run on the field for the last time in Nebraska. Since you saw him, when they were 15, when Amir Abdullah, when Bo Pelini took the job here, Amir would have been, that was 16, 15 years old, right? And so what does that mean to know that that's the last for you to see them?
It's bittersweet. It's great to see him move on to some great things that they're going to have in life, but no doubt it's a sad day as well to see people you've been around, for 365 days a year for 4 and 5 years, to see them leave your program, and the legacy that they have left is special. I took kid Trevor Roach the other day. I said, geez, 5 years ago, you couldn't even, you weren't even shaving. Now he's got this big beard.
Yeah.
But it's great to see the development of these young men, and it's what really college athletics is all about, the student athlete, and to see guys get their degree and then going out in the business world, and like yourself, Blake, going out and being successful is what college athletics is all about.
You mentioned Trevor Roach, and you obviously play a big part in the walk-on program and bringing in the group of 15 to 25 guys every year. When you see guys like Roach just flourish and turn into men and turn into great football players on top of that, how much pride do you take in that? Because obviously you're the guy that really leads that and pushes it up there and makes sure it stays a priority.
Well, I think if you talk to any of those players, going back to myself, same thing in 1983, probably the best decision I ever made. My wife gets upset when I say that, but I guess it's the second best decision I ever made was walking on at Nebraska. But to be a part of that, to have that lead role and to see so many guys develop. And you mentioned Trevor Roach, and Trevor got put on scholarship last winter, and he's on scholarship now. But I'd like to talk about a couple others briefly here. I mean, to see a guy like Joey Felici be on scout team for 4 years and then play special teams this year, and the job he's done. And we put him and Austin Williams on scholarship last January, and then in summertime as well. So we had a couple scholarships open up. We were able to do that. They're not on this semester, though, but to see those guys flourish in our program, and then Mark Pelini being put on scholarship a year ago, and then a guy that hasn't been put on scholarship, but I'll tell you what, you ask any coach on our football team, you ask any player on our football team, a guy, Derek Foster, is up on that list from Elm Creek, begged us to be a part of the program, and he has been on scout team. But I tell you what, he's just as important as any guy on our football team. The attitude, the energy, the work ethic that he brings every day to make our offense better as a scout team DB, have a lot of respect. I know our coaches and players do as well. So it's a special day for those walk-ons as well.
Let's close with this, Jeff, and we really appreciate you coming on tonight. You talk about the chance to play again on Saturday, which is such a big opportunity for this team to get back out there, and that's the great thing about sports. You get another chance to make another good impression. We've been around Bo Pelini a lot, high highs, low lows. Trying to get a team back from a game like that, is that a coach thing, or does that have to come from the players in the locker room? Do they have to be the ones to help, or is it a joint effort, so to speak?
I think it's a joint effort. I think it's going to start, obviously, with Coach Pelini, but he's going to be able to say so many things, and then obviously our players and those seniors, and it's our job as coaches to also groom those younger guys of making sure that they play so well on senior day. I'll still never forget my senior day. We were number 1 in the country. We played a team down south that was number 2. I forgot the name of that school, but
Tennessee Tech? No.
Yeah, but you just want to go out the last time you play in Memorial Stadium for those 14 guys. So really, all our energy and focus, making sure those seniors go out the right way in front of 91.5 loud fans come 11 o'clock on Saturday.
Well, Jeff, thank you so much for coming over. We appreciate you stopping by tonight.
Appreciate it. It's always a pleasure.
Up next on the wrap-up, we'll talk some Big Red recruiting with Sean and break down what's left in the recruiting class, at least to this point. As we go to break, let's take one more look back at Nebraska's trip to Madison, courtesy Aaron Babcock at Hale Varsity. We're back in just a couple of minutes. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Wrap-Up. I'm Kevin Kugler. Be sure to vote on this week's Sideline Survey question. Are you confident the Huskers will win their final 2 games? So far, no. Winning by a lot. Visit our Facebook page of the Wrap-Up website and vote in our unscientific poll. Congratulations to Lauren Robbins, a fine Big Red Wrap-Up viewer. She knew the answer to tonight's second trivia question. Who previously held the school record for rushing yards against Nebraska? Jamal Charles rushed for 290 yards against Nebraska in 2007. I was at that game. Most of that came in the fourth quarter. Blake was at that game too. We all know injuries are a part of sports, but having the best information will make for a quick and successful recovery. Here's Dr. Rob Rhodes with another installment of Injury Replay.
I'm Dr. Rob Rhodes with Injury Replay, and welcome to Injury Minute. Today we're talking about a hamstring pull. The hamstring is actually a group of 3 muscles and their tendons that originate in the hip, extend down the back of the thigh, and attach to the knee. These muscles flex and rotate the leg and allow you to bend your leg at the knee. Hamstring pulls are caused by excessive stretching or actual tearing of the muscles. An athlete will feel a sudden, sharp pain and may not have full range of motion. Overexertion, poor stretching and flexibility, muscle fatigue, or an imbalance between the quadriceps on the front of the thigh being too strong and the hamstring muscles on the back being too weak can lead to a hamstring pull. Mild pulls can cause discomfort and swelling, but a severe pull will cause constant pain, visible bruising, or an indentation or defect in the muscle, and the athlete may not be able to walk without assistance. Hamstring pulls are treated with rest, ice, and anti-inflammatories, and severe hamstring pulls may take up to 3 weeks to heal and require physical therapy. I'm Dr. Rob Rhodes with Injury Replay, and this has been your Injury Minute.
We appreciate Dr. Rhodes' contribution to Big Red Wrap-Up. Sean Callahan, of course, still with us from Husker Online as we shift from a little football talk to recruiting. But we are going to go back to the game and get more of your questions answered before the end of the show. So we'll talk recruiting and we'll talk about the game again because I know that's what you're wanting to talk about too. But let's talk Kendall Bussey first. There's been a lot of drama swirling around Nebraska's longtime running back commit. Is he in or is he out?
It was quite a roller coaster last week on Wednesday, Thursday, even through the weekend. On Thursday, Kendall's father informed Rivals.com's national analyst Mike Farrell that more than likely he's not going to Nebraska. It looks like he's going to probably go to Tennessee. They informed Nebraska they probably should start recruiting other running backs. Well, somewhere in between all that, it all changed, and he's now 100% solid in Nebraska at this point, and they confirmed that to us this week. The other interesting storyline, though, now is he's got a partially torn ACL knee injury. So Kendall Bussey is wavering on he could have it heal naturally, his leg is strong enough, or he could undergo surgery and have it repaired. I think they're leaning on having the surgery, but as of right now, he's still a Nebraska Cornhusker, and you would think actually the knee injury might help Nebraska because some of the SEC teams, that might scare a team like Tennessee, who already has 2 running back commits and is looking to even add a 3rd running back in their class. That might scare them away.
Well, Nebraska's also, we're the king of recruiting the injured player. Right. So, I mean, if you got a torn ACL or you can't play your senior year of high school football, give us a
They've
call.
had 3 straight quarterbacks that have not played their senior year,
like,
which is pretty amazing.
Keep bringing them in.
And if you're hurt, welcome.
Welcome, bring it on.
So, speaking of recruits, hopefully one that's not going to be injured ever, John Reardon joining us from Des Moines, commit in the 2016 Nebraska class. Good evening, John.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. We really appreciate you taking time for us this evening. How's your season been?
We finished out 10-2, lost in the quarterfinals, and so it came to kind of an abrupt end. But now I'm into basketball, so.
Hey, John, your dad played at Nebraska. You've had brothers that played at Wisconsin and Notre Dame. For you to get that Nebraska offer, I know your brothers, I don't know if they were ever really on the radar or looked at Nebraska, but to follow in your dad's footsteps in Nebraska, what does that mean?
It just means a lot. Going to a place where I kind of already have a name out there, and Nebraska was my first offer actually, and like that's just something. Playing college football is something that I've wanted to do since I was little, and when Nebraska put the offer out there, it really put them ahead on my recruiting kind of chart.
When Nebraska plays Wisconsin like this game this last weekend, being a Nebraska commit, talking smack. My older brother played football at Kansas, so we always talked about Nebraska-Kansas. That rivalry is done, but is there some smack talk going on in the household when the Nebraska-Wisconsin game comes around?
My brother actually decided not to play football anymore. So there's not a whole lot of that. I mean, there was a little bit of kind of teasing, but not much. I think he's just happy that I'm going to be following my dreams and supports my decision.
I would assume because you're 6'4" and north of 270 pounds that there are not a lot of folks running around Iowa giving you a hard time about going to Nebraska, are there?
I haven't heard too much of it. I'm just teachers and friends kind of joking with me, but no, most people understand and accept my decision.
Now, you guys have already gotten some other linemen in the class, Brian Brokop as well. Just how excited are you about the lineman class Nebraska's building up?
I'm really excited. I watched their tapes, and every bit as good as mine, and I think we're going to have a really good offensive line.
Now, when you talk about Nebraska and the recruiting process, what coach are you working with most when you come to Nebraska or on the phones most often?
I'd say Barney Cotton and John Garrison.
And how is that working with Coach Cotton? Do you get to see Jake Cotton, his son, and going into his senior day on Saturday? I mean, what is it like to know Coach Cotton, and does he know the story of all the way back to your dad's time at Nebraska?
I've got to build a relationship with the coach, which kind of makes me feel more connected to the team. And I met Jake a couple times. He's a great guy and a great lineman. I think Barney had known my dad to some extent before, from when he played, but I'm not really quite sure their relationship.
John Raridan, Nebraska commit for the 2016 class. Good luck at basketball season, John. We appreciate the time.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you very much. Let's go back in-state now quickly, Sean, and talk another in-state recruit right here in the capital city. Yeah,
we're talking about Noah Lazaro from Lincoln Southwest, and really one of the 2 or 3 best players in the city of Lincoln. Currently has an offer from the University of Ohio with Frank Solich, and I believe one of the Dakotas as well. But he's a big, tall guy. He's a legit 6'2", 6'3", 220. And he can move and run. I think there's some question, is he physical enough? Can he be a Division I type linebacker? But he has all the tools, Blake, as you see, being the resident linebacker expert here on the set tonight.
Yeah, I did not look like that as a senior in high school.
Strangely, I did.
Yeah, if you would have shown my film, then I think,
Is everyone laughing in the studio? That's Kevin, not nice.
You were not. You're probably built. The suit doesn't show it. But this kid looks like he's got the athletic ability. And being here in Lincoln, have you had a chance to see him play? Does he play offense as well?
Yeah, he's their running back, and they basically used him this year in the Josh Banderas role, where he played running back and linebacker at Josh Banderas' old school. And he's a legitimate 4.6 speed guy, legit. I've seen him run. I think it's the side-to-side hip movement, as you see there, where in coverage, a lot of linebackers at the high school level need to work on that, but he has the speed and the physical ability and the body size that you want to see, and that'd be a 15-yard penalty right there, right, Blake?
Yeah, probably so. But is he going to pick up some offers? As he had that type of senior year where maybe the Ohio offer attracts attention, he could pick someone else up?
It's hard to say at this point. He has not been to any Nebraska games as a visitor. I know he's been invited to come. But I don't know where a team like Nebraska stands, even from a walk-on standpoint. I don't know what his motive is as far as that Ohio offer. I know Wyoming, South Dakota State are as well. The usual suspects, the teams that have recruited the state, were on him, and they really liked him early on in the process.
All right, Noah Lazaro, our in-state recruit focus tonight here on Big Red Wrap-Up as we shift gears back from recruiting to the season at hand and the game going on. This weekend is Minnesota. Of course, the game last week that has everybody talking is the Wisconsin game. And your colleague Dan Hoppen of Husker Online today did a story comparing the losses early in Bo Pelini's tenure with the losses late in Bo Pelini's tenure from a statistical standpoint. And it's startling to see, as the tenure has gone on, the points allowed per game in the losses, 38.9 points per game the difference between Nebraska and the opponent in the 14 losses from 2011 to 2014. The average losing margin is 19.9. So 38 points, almost 39 points allowed per game in those losses. And Nebraska's losing those games by 20. But the more startling thing is that according to Dan Hoppen, 8 of those losses by 17 or more, Nebraska didn't have a fourth quarter lead in a single one. But they led in those games in the second quarter in 9 of the 14 losses. So what we saw this weekend
is a common trend.
It's been duplicated over and over and over again. That's a systemic, right? That's a systemic issue, isn't it?
I think even in the 2 wins before this, Nebraska saw this coming. I mean, the Purdue game and the Rutgers game, the way Nebraska played, they played all right, but both Rutgers and Purdue hung around, and I think everyone was fearful for this Wisconsin game for the reasons you just mentioned, that they knew Wisconsin was better. You heard Tommy Armstrong say it after the Purdue game, that if we play like we play in these games, we're going to get beat. And I think that's what happened Saturday. And I think the concern to me, guys, is when an opponent pushes back, fights back, Nebraska just hasn't reacted well to that. I go back to even the Ohio State game 2 years ago. They're up 17-7 in the Horseshoe, and Braxton Miller has like a 70-yard plus run in that game. And from that moment on, Urban Meyer and the Buckeyes just took that game over. 21-3 lead UCLA last year at this time. That's a young defense. Avery Moss has Brett Hundley sacked. He breaks the play. He gets a 3rd and 12 run. They score. It's a 21-10 game at halftime, but they had all the momentum. I just feel like when those big momentum plays happen, Nebraska just has not responded well when it's their turn to make an answer or respond.
And I think that goes to looking across the board in college football. How often is Florida State down? And when you look at the sidelines, it's like, it's okay. They're going to come back, but they've won, they've done that. They've done it at least once, where the momentum swung one way, but then they got it back and they found a way to win. And Nebraska has found some really close victories in their time. They really have, but it's never been where it's an entire momentum swing and they've got the confidence that they can overcome that. And I think that might be some of the difference mentally. And then there's some talent differences between Florida State and Nebraska.
It's a hard program to figure out in a lot of ways because you remember the streak was broken against Michigan State, I believe. I think it was 10 straight games Nebraska had won that were decided by a touchdown or less. Mm-hmm. So they're figuring out ways, at least at that point, to win close games. Mm-hmm. But in games like we saw on Saturday, when adversity strikes and the sideline gets a little heated, all of a sudden the confidence seems to just disappear. You saw it on that first long run from Melvin Gordon. Things get a little dicey on the sidelines, and all of a sudden Nebraska just kind of goes, oh my gosh, here we go again. Why does that continue to happen? Again, that's the question that is continually being asked by Nebraska fans over the last 72 hours or more.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of emotions that go into these momentum swings. Of course, these players are out there, they're not trying to lose, they're trying to compete at the highest level. And when you have a team that is so emotionally involved, the offense with the defense, a lot of times the impact of what the defense is doing might affect the confidence of the offense. And you sometimes have to compartmentalize that, where it's okay if Nebraska's defense gives up a long touchdown run. Our offense is good enough and confident enough, we'll go get it back.
I think sometimes, too, with the offense, they're overthinking at times. You watch Minnesota on offense, they get a huddle, they get up right to the line, and boom, they run the play. They don't mess around. I think Nebraska, you're having those offensive linemen stand in the stance for 25, 30 seconds. You try standing in that stance for 25, 30 seconds as they're going back and forth with the play call, and then you overthink, and they pretty much check to the option, it seems like, every time when they make those long-winded checks at the line of scrimmage, and then the opposing defense, has their way. I think sometimes, instead of just getting up there and having a confidence in a play call, they overthink what they want to do, and it just hasn't worked out well the last few weeks.
They're kind of going away from just chipping away at the yardage and saying we're either going to get, a long touchdown run or a long throw, or we're going to punt it. And that's what it's felt like. I mean, especially in the Wisconsin game, you had a quarterback that's lacking confidence, making some poor throws, and you're asking him to throw downfield time and time again. you know, when you can go side to side, develop some confidence.
Bubble screens. I mean, the best pass play of the game on Saturday was a screen pass to Amir Abdullah.
Right, exactly right.
And why? I mean, I just don't know. In the conditions that they were facing, you would think you'd see more of those where you utilize Westerkamp and Kenny Bell almost as a running game.
Right.
And
Those guys in space. Let them go to work on the edge. DeMarre Pearson-Nell, another guy out there.
I'd rather have them have the ball than Amani Cross. I mean, they're going to give you a bigger play opportunity in those situations.
The Huskers welcome the Minnesota Golden Gophers to Memorial Stadium on Saturday. For a preview of that game and our predictions, head over to our Facebook page of the Wrap-Up website and click the prediction. Blake and I will tell you exactly what to expect on Saturday. The game's scheduled for an 11 a.m. kickoff. You can see that game on ESPN. Minnesota, a very confident team and a very physical team coming into Lincoln this weekend. Wrap-Up won't be on its normal time next week. Instead of Tuesday, you'll find us right here next Wednesday night at 7 o'clock as we recap the Minnesota game with our guest, KETV Sports Director Andy Kendi, finalist for the Nebraska Sportscaster of the Year Award, along with Greg Sharp. Why the change? Because NET Sports has the NSAA High School Football Championships next Monday and Tuesday. All-day action, both days beginning at 10 a.m. Central, live from Memorial Stadium here in Lincoln. Our thanks to Sean Callahan for filling a larger role tonight. Also thanks to Jeff Jamrog for joining us. Thanks to Josh and the boys in the Wrap-Up call center. And Adrian, if you're watching, feel better. We need you back here next week. Now for Blake Lawrence, I'm Kevin Kugler. We'll see you right back here next Tuesday night, actually next Wednesday night on NET's Big Red Wrap-Up. Good night, everybody.
This video on demand presentation of Big Red Wrap-Up is made possible by the following sponsors. Big Red Wrap-Up thanks these sponsors.